How we doing? It's been a while since I've done a, PC part picker build, but I've kind of been waiting. I really wanted to do a, Ryzen one, but I've kind of been waiting for the motherboard manufacturers to fix the BIOS so that RAM isn't such a terrible option. So we are going to go start out with a Ryzen balls to the wall build. And then I've done one for Intel, got to do one for Ryzen now. So obviously an 1800X, which is a 8 core 16 thread processor. Turbo's around 4 gigahertz, 4.1 with their extended frequency range thing. Ooh. AM4 obviously. Okay, good. Obviously gonna do water cooled. Duh. See a 360 mil rad. Oh, that's a good thing I could do. Fractal Design, they released the Celsius in the States, so I'll definitely cover that. It's a 360 mil radiator. It's fairly thick too, if I remember correctly. But they had the Fractal Design Kelvin, which is the European release of it, for a while. Just now released to North America, which is kind of nice. X370 is gonna have to be, yeah. X370. I kind of want to do an ASUS build so I can get the Aura sync going. And the Crosshair is what I'm seeing as the best in terms of overclocking ability, so we'll go with the Crosshair. Memory, because of it, AMD's Infinity Fabric with Ryzen, memory speeds play a huge difference where they didn't before. So we're going to go with 16 gigs in a, we'll go to a 2x8. And I kind of want to do Vengeance RGB. And I believe 3200 megahertz from what I was seeing was the sweet spot here. So let's, oh, I really hope. Okay, we'll go 3000 megahertz because I really want to do some G-Skill, or sorry, Corsair Vengeance RGB. Yes. Just because it's new RAM, and I think it looks super sweet. I'll pull up a picture for you guys. Yeah, I think that looks super sweet. And if I remember correctly, it is, you can modify it with yes, Corsair Link, you can program it, which is sweet. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I wish I could get this on my own. Something else you'll notice is I am playing a bit of music in the background. I hope it's not too loud. The volume's actually as low as I can get it. So I will bump it up in post if it's too quiet, obviously. I want an M.2, honestly, because I have the ability. And I want a Samsung 850 Evo. Wait. You totes have more than this. There we go, 960 Evo. And I'll make this a games drive, so half terabyte. What? Hold on a minute. So 500 gig, 250. 12 more gigabytes is almost another $100. I can't warrant that even for a balls to the wall build. That's just unreasonable. And then we'll get a regular mechanical drive. 2 terabyte is what I've been going with because that's fairly reasonable storage. Oh, 3 terabyte is the smallest? What? Whatever. 3 terabytes fine. Seagate Barracuda, Seagate. I always go Seagate. It's kind of been a wash recently between Seagate and Western Digital. They've both had just about the same in terms of reliability. Western Digital's a tiny bit cheaper. So if you're going, if you were going for a budget build, definitely go with a Western Digital. Obviously an Asus. Unfortunately, going with an RX 580 isn't going to be enough for a balls to the wall build. And Vega isn't out yet, so we're looking at the 1080 Ti and the Asus Strix. God, that's a huge price point. Holy shit. What is... This one just has a slightly lower... 20 bucks for that, I guess. The only difference between this Strix and the other Strix was this one has a slightly raised clock speed. And do we want to do two-way SLI? Yeah, we'll go balls to the wall, 100%. But I have to choose a case that can warrant all this. Gotta think cooler's got white and black going for it. So I want a full tower. I'm thinking an all black case with tempered glass maybe. Yes. Let's go like, what do we got up here at the top of the range? Not digging it. Maybe. I really love the DG87, honestly. Like, that is my absolute favorite. Black and silver in the Be Quiet. Oh. Oh, I can dig this. I think black and silver would look sick with what I've got going. Where's the silver accents coming in on it, though? I didn't pay attention to that. What? Oh, okay. Deciding. DG87. Because that is my favorite case currently. I haven't seen anything that can beat that case. I will need to, however, pull up the Newegg listing for both the graphics card and motherboard and the case. Oh, whoops. Not 7700K. What are you doing? Now, I need to know your size. Give me dimensions. Where are you at? It's 2.5 slot width, which is kind of annoying. Oh, there we go. Why is it down at the bottom? That's different. Okay. I'll have to also pull up motherboard to see. Ooh, they have them spaced, but not really enough. I'd like to have these PCIe slots spaced a little bit more, because that is 2.5 card width right there. Oh no, that's one down at the bottom. Let's check the specs real quick. Yeah. See that? Okay, never mind. It supports 8x, but it is a 16x slot. Gotcha. Understood. So we're gooch. I can actually use that bottom one. And let's make sure that my case, which I'm almost positive it does. Hey, why are you not giving me... That's annoying. I prefer Newegg just because I like the way they have things set. And this doesn't give me any specifics at all. Alright, well, we'll just go Newegg DG87. U. Is it because they're out of stock? No, they're in stock. I don't know why it's not being sold on, oh, that's annoying. Hey. Actually, 214, what's the price I'm getting here? It's cheaper on Newegg, actually. Okay. GPU, max GPU length, 350. That one. We're good on GPU length. And then... That's not what I wanted. I wanted to know how many expansion slots you have. Why? Gotta find it now. Doesn't tell me. Helpful. Plenty of space. Okay. So we're gooch. Good to go. The case will support my SLI configuration and the motherboard will support the SLI configuration. Awesome. Now we are currently at 724 watts. Definitely going to want to get a 1200 watt power supply here. Holy shit. Not this one though. Fully modular, yes. 80 plus gold. And it needs to be 1200 watt. EVGA is a great brand for this. I think we'll go with the EVGA Supernova. But I've been seeing there's issues with the Supernova, which is why I'm kind of hesitant. I mean, the Corsair AX 1200 is solid, but no price. Yeah, we'll have to go with the EVGA Supernova. EVGA is still a great company. I love EVGA. Don't need an optical drive, who cares about that? Wireless network adapter, gonna need that. Probably should have remembered if I have a PCIe. I should be able to fit the card in, a network card in there, but that'll affect it. So I think I'm just gonna go USB 3.0. Give me a good one. We'll go right here with this Asus. Might as well, right? And then case fans. I think we're good for now on the case fans. That's probably going to do it for the build. Honestly, this is probably the build that I will end up doing, except replacing the 1080 Ti with Vega, depending on how Vega turns out. So to recap, got the Ryzen 7 1800X. It's an 8-core with their simultaneous multi-threading. So it's the same thing as hyper-threading, so you get 16 threads. Almost the same as the 16-core processor, but 16 threads is always going to be slower than 16 cores. with boosting with XFR up to about 4.1 if your cooling allows it, kind of like GPU boost for NVIDIA. The fractal design Celsius S36, which is a 360mm rad. Super cool that they brought this to North America. It is kind of a rebrand though, even though it's the exact same thing as the Kelvin, but whatever. The Asus Crosshair 6 Hero AM4 motherboard. 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RGB and a 2x8 DDR4 memory at 3000 megahertz, which around perfect for Ryzen's Infinity Fabric. So you get really nice CPU speeds. The Samsung 960 EVO 500 gig M.2 drive, and this is an NVMe drive, and the Asus Crosshair supports NVMe drives, which is sweet. Seagate Barracuda 3 terabyte. Since for whatever reason 2 terabytes isn't a thing now, whatever. It's a 7200 RPM mechanical drive, and 2 Asus GTX 1080 Ti's gaming Strix. I think it's supposed to be gaming Strix, not Strix gaming, whatever. In SLI, so you're gonna be able to rock 4K, no problem. CPU won't bottleneck it. Graphics cards in no way, shape, or form can bottleneck that. And the CPU will allow you to do other workloads such as content creation. I was having trouble getting that one out. Whatever. And then you'll be able to do GPU acceleration, which you don't need a super high-end GPU to do that. You could probably run with a 750 Ti and you'd be golden. But multi-use. Going on down the list, we've got the EVGA DG87 full tower case. Super sweet case. It's a gunmetal color, all aluminum, with tempered glass side panel. It hinges out as a door instead of coming off with thumb screws, which I think is sweet. It's got hardware fan controllers on the side with their K-boost, is what they call it. I'm assuming just increases the fan speeds. It doesn't actually say what it does. But then for power supply, I got the EVGA Supernova G2 1300 watt power supply. It's an 80 plus gold, fully modular. And wireless network. Since I don't think you get a huge speed increase from a PCIe network adapter, I haven't tested that obviously. I have a USB 3.0 one from Netgear, and I'm getting 150 down with 30 up. So pretty okay with those speeds. And my so this guy is the Asus AC56. It's an 802.11 ABGN AC adapter. That'll do it. The estimated power draw is 724. When things are overclocked and GPU boosting under heavy load, that kind of thing, you're probably going to push that a little bit. I would say closer to the 800-900 watt range, which is why I wanted 1200 watts, but 1300 watts will do even better. It gives a little bit more headroom, and it was actually cheaper than the cheapest 1200 watt one, for a grand total of $3,323.77. For the price, you can obviously go with an Intel 7700K and get slightly better gaming performance than the Ryzen CPU, but 7700K can't also double as a content creation, at least in the same way that the Ryzen 7 can. Ryzen has more cores, more threads, so when it comes to content creation, it's a wash. Other than that, I think this is probably about, unless I went with the new Titan XPs, lowercase p, whichever p is the newest one that they released where they actually branded it the Pascal and it wasn't the community branding it Pascal. Whatever. Looking at things, they're fairly stable recently. Not looking to see much in the way of jump. We're kind of settled out where we're at now. But as always, the part picker list will be down in the description, so you guys can use this to work from, get an idea, or just straight up buy all these parts. As I pointed out, the EVGA DG87 is cheaper on Newegg than we're seeing on Prime here, or Amazon, but it's not showing up. Couldn't tell you why. Meh. Also, let me know how you like the music in the background. Sometimes it's kind of distracted me, I'll admit it. I hear a song that I enjoy and I'm like, okay, let's listen. But you can't do that. So, if you enjoyed this, let me know. Give me some feedback, and I'll see you guys next time.